And as they say, it's time for something entirely different. This is an old television set. So, yeah, we're going to look at ABC Saturday mornings because that's the one I'm most familiar with. Now, of course, I was a baby way back then, way back then. I was born at the end of May and before the start of June of 1978. I keep thinking of Linda Park, who played Hoshi Sato, and Zoe Saldana, who played the new Uhura, not the third one, but the second Uhura. And they were born around 78, born a little bit after me, so I'm a bit older than them. Isn't that something? And here we got this traditional television set, okay? And we got, and this is, I believe it's a color. Let me tell you, we had black and white TVs in the house. We did not have color TVs all over the place. We had still the one color TV. We're the one with one color TV, right? One color TV set and black and white TV sets. So that was what we had. And you could tell what those things, kids, are called fucking knobs. I think there was hue and saturation. So you had VHF, which was our main channels in Los Angeles 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and UHF, which was like KCET, KCO, or what is it? KDOC, the Spanish channel like Telemundo. You would have like the secondary channels on the second knob right there. And what would you do if you lost them? If the knobs fell off and you couldn't find them, what would you do? That's right, you get a fucking pair of pliers to change the channel. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be doing this as a series. Maybe if it's significantly different across a couple of years. I'll definitely be covering like the 45-year spectrum of Saturday morning stuff, including the bitter end with the Litton's Weekend Adventure. I'll go in more detail if you like this kind of series. But yeah, so let's review the toys I had at the time. Yep, just a baby crib, maybe a mobile, maybe some stuffed animals. All right, let's turn on the damn TV, if I may. How do I do that? How do I do that? So, believe it or not, we had color bars. You would have infomercials a lot, and infomercials are now part of our lives, or maybe the morning weekend news. But we had color bars, meaning that we didn't have the convenience of having some kind of programming. The channels would sign off the air. In some examples, in some rare cases, you'd have classical music to color bars because people know that boop can be annoying as fuck. So that's how it was. It would just be like the network signed off for hours and then would sign back on. I was used to this. I mean, I would tune to I would tune to CBS, NBC, ABC, right? KTLA 5, KTTV 11. And this is what you get. So you get classical music or the boop sound. Now let's get to the programming.
Mystery fans, hold on to your ghosts, because here come the spookiest, most spine-tingling tales ever to chill a bone. Delight and fright, shiver and shake, quiver and quake. Watch Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Now, I forgot to clarify, this is the fall of 78. So this is months. At this time, I'd be a few months old, still in my crib. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Now, obviously, being a baby, learning how to open my eyes and grasp things and learning how to walk. I hadn't learned how to walk and talk yet. But I do remember this cartoon as far back as when Channel 13, KCOP 13, had, so they would show all kinds of stuff from the 60s and 70s. And I got to know Scooby-Doo through a couple of things, through a puzzle. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, but it's for kids. Like put together the shape of Scooby-Doo on a sort of a balsa wood kind of, put the shapes together and it forms Scooby-Doo. My brother had a lot of these. So obviously what they did is originally Scooby-Doo was on CBS, and then it found its home on ABC. And let me see if I can show you any clips here. But these are GIFs. So working around the copyright, of course. When does Velma not lose her fucking glasses, of course? Yeah. So I mean, this is the classic cartoon. This was before the special guest stars and before the 70s stuff. And we're talking about 78. So there were about maybe 9 years worth of cartoons of Scooby-Doo. And let's see if I have something else. Ooh, well, there he is giving kisses. And yeah, you'd have like all kinds of monsters and they have to solve them. Basically, if you haven't, the thing about the original cartoon though, that what separates it from the newer stuff is that you would have the sort of the 60s band sing a song. So every time they were running away, there was a running sequence, run from the monster, and you would have that 60s groovy being the word, music in the back. And yeah, there's Scooby doing his wave before he runs from the monster. I remember, I'm still thinking about when Casey Kasem said that Shaggy should not eat meat. Of course, the newer voice actor humbly disagrees. So it's all about perspective, I guess. Here she is going through all the clues, looking through the books. Something's not right. Or maybe she's making a fool of herself. I mean, whatever Mindy Kaling is doing is like, oh, Matthew Lillard, that's it. Matthew Lillard's the current voice actor. But yeah, Matthew Lillard, who did Wing Commander, worked as the live action Shaggy, would say that, yeah, Shaggy eats meat. But yeah, that new cartoon is cringe. It isn't it? It's just, this is the classics. This is the gold standard here. And it's sad that three of the voice actors are not here with us today. You can look up Scooby-Doo voice actors in their own words, and you'll see some nice retrospectives. I think they're taking a bow. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at 4 commercials, I think, and around this time period, and then we'll get to some more stuff. This was... Now, the last cigarette commercials were in 71. 1971 was the last time we saw those cigarette ads. Well, we'll count the first. This is the first commercial we'll look at. What is all this? What is all this? I have no idea. Oh, look at these space graphics. It's such space. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's the Groovy Ghoulies. That looks like Harry Mudd. There's... Oh my god. I don't know. I don't remember seeing this at all. This is the first time I'm seeing this. And yet it feels familiar because it's all your favorite 70s stars. Your superstars. So... yeah, we're going to get some commercials, and then we're going to get to the next big segment. Hee-haw! Never saw that. This is an NBC. These are NBC promos, whatever. Yeah, this is where you could wear the gay short shorts and nothing wrong. Oh... don't remember these commercials, and I'm glad I don't remember them. I'm sure Joey Diaz does. But everything was very, like, kind of disco feeling. What's this? Oh my god. One more commercial. Oh my god, the techno vibe there. Oh my god. It used to be about, the early 70s cartoons had like your favorite, like the Jackson 5, the Beatles, all kinds of shit. Oh, yes. The fantastic characters here. Ah, there's Don Messick. The Really Rottens and the Yogi Yahooies, the Scooby Doobies. I think I did a video about this before, but somehow I've evaded the copyright shite. Oh, we had to have Mumbly in there. Now, this is a cartoon. Obviously, I was a baby, so I never saw the beginnings of this. I'm lucky to have these on DVD. I'd love to get all of the episodes, but unfortunately, I have like the first season or two of this series. And I remember this well, and I thought it was a brand new cartoon in 1984 because guess what we had in 1984? The Los Angeles Olympics, and there's all these different characters. You had so many. I think it was 45. So you had 15 of the Scooby Doobies, which is Scooby Doo, Scooby Dum, Captain Caveman, Hong Kong Phooey, the Teen Angels, Blue Falcon, and Dynomutt, and what is it, Genie and Babu. That was on the blue team, right? Yogi Yahooies was Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, Wally Gator. Yeah, so you got to see all the. There's Grape Ape over there. I don't even think Jellystone got another season. I think it was just one season of Jellystone. I was thinking about that because I reviewed Jellystone for HBO Max. But all the characters you see on Jellystone, these are the originals, Dawes Butler, and then you have the Really Rottens, the green team. So the orange team is Yogi, the blue team is Scooby, and the green team was the Really Rottens. So we had Mumbly or Muttley. They couldn't get. They had separate rights with Dastardly and Muttley from Wacky Races for some odd reason. I think I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers has full rights now because they own Hanna-Barbera. But yeah, with they had to use the Dread Baron and Mumbly, and I don't know how they worked that out. But those are the that's a whole separate thing. Bugs Bunny, and there's and there's he's he's cheating. I think he's cheating with a mechanical donkey. I thought the Really Rottens were supposed to be the ones cheating. I don't understand that. I can't do Snagglepuss. Heavens to Betsy. What else? What does it say? Heavens to Murgatroyd. That's it. Oh God. If you were old enough to, I don't know what that is. There's Hong Kong Phooey. There's Hong Kong Phooey. Hong Kong Phooey. Quicker than the human eye. Yeah, so all the Scooby Doobies, they would all compete. And for the first season or two, the Really Rottens never won. Then they started to win in the third season a couple of times, and then there was a tie between all three teams. And that's how it went. And let me see if there's any more images. Oh yeah, this is the one with the leprechaun. Um, the leprechaun would the three teams would go and try to get the leprechaun to win the game, go for the gold medal. So I have these on DVD. I mean this if any cartoons represent Saturday morning in the 70s and early 80s, it's this one because it has everybody in it. It's like, before Smash, but this is before Sonic and Mario at the Olympics, long before that. And now it's time for a little mini cartoon that's educational. I'll try to work around the copyright for that one.
As your body grows bigger, your mind grows slower. It's quicker than schoolhouse.
Oh yeah, this was the first Schoolhouse Rock produced, I think, or broadcasted. Now I just like these little segments. They were of a different time. You had math rock, you had grammar rock, you had science rock. They took you to a different time. The 70s was such a very weird, just groovy, like psychedelic time. Now, to me as a baby, as a toddler, I just thought about the colors and the shapes of things, romper room and all these weird things. That was a different thing. I mean, the government worries about kids not learning things. How can you not learn anything from this? I don't want to show too much. Disney might come after me.
So did I. But this great acne medicine
Oh, she's lovely.
gave me visible results in 5 days.
God, I wish I could marry that one, right? I don't know. Beautiful white girls that have that just crystal clear look and feel are more attractive to me. To each his own, to everyone.
What a difference. You can have visibly clear skin in 5 days.
God, wow. She's the ideal white girl, teenage white girl, right?
The
Holy shit.
Blast off. It happens every time you eat a Starburst.
Starbursts. I don't remember it being in a white package. I remember yellow and red.
Gives you a burst of fruit flavor from the very
Don't remember much about these things. Like the first commercials I can remember in my head were like
strawberry.
Purina Cat Chow. Touch the part of me, Purina Cat Chow. That's all I could remember. Like that was 80s stuff.
The very first chew.
It's in a white package or is it yellow?
My wife bet me breakfast in bed that her new roll-on would keep me drier than my Sure roll-on. I took the bet. Sure roll-on really worked for me. I lose.
Aw,
Her roll-on does keep me dry.
new improved Sure Roll-On. Now with a new more
Sure,
effective
raise your
roll-on.
hand
Keep
if
it
you're
dry
sure.
and
I
keep it
remember
warm.
those commercials
Still
more.
win. New improved Sure roll-on keeps me drier. You lose some, you win some. New improved Sure roll-on. You'll be drier.
And then let's see what this one is.
You really have soft skin.
I use bath oil to help make my skin soft.
Bath oil?
Yes, right here.
That's soap.
It's not soap, it's Caress.
So where's the bath oil?
In the Caress.
Caress. Ah, these. This is when they kind of announced the commercial back then. Now commercials are like, hurry up, let's go.
This is a little
We don't got time to fuck around.
No, like this.
Caress with bath oil helps make your skin caressively soft.
And now it's time for Fang
Say I
Face.
got my
Ah, yes, this cartoon. So this was during the time of. I mean, I didn't remember this cartoon till later. Like another Scooby Doo ripoff. So, like I said, this was part of the Plastic Man hour, and it was the one and only time you saw a live action Plastic Man. But they would go on about Fang Face, and there were so many cartoons: Mighty Man and Yuck, Fang Face, I think Turbo Team, definitely Plastic Man. And I just remember that there was this dopey looking dude that looked like Jughead or Shaggy, and he would turn into a werewolf. And I think this inspired Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf in the mid '80s. Oh, that's not Jabberjaw. So yeah, and I do remember there was a Fang Face and Fang Baby. So there was a baby also. I'm not sure if it was Fang Face's little brother or what it was. I remember very little about this, to be honest with you, but it was one of those Ruby Spears cartoons. Here's him being silly. Oh, God, I can't remember. I mean, this is a cartoon that the last time I ever saw it on network television, that would be KCOP 13, was when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. And there's Fang Baby. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to some more commercials.
People say I got my good skin from my mother. They're right.
Yep,
Because it was
I
my
love
mom who
this
told
one.
me about Noxzema. Good skin starts young. So I wash twice a day.
She's in her 50s by now. Let's all behave ourselves.
It gets rid of
Or
dirt and oil,
60s.
cleans out clogged pores, softens and moisturizes.
They used to. I remember Kristen Krug doing a Noxzema commercial, I think, or it was a Hayden Petier.
Good skin starts young and stays younger looking.
I mean, some of these commercials are now just as fast as possible.
Night and day, this is the look.
Oh, the 70s look and feel
The
here.
look that's good to your skin. The CoverGirl look. Clean makeup. The look
Oh my God, the 70s fashion.
Girl clean makeup. Clean, fresh, fabulous.
It's beautiful makeup. I love the look.
CoverGirl clean makeup by Noxzema.
There you go. Noxzema does everything.
Good to your skin.
They do everything. They got it all. The days of your favorite cereal icons, right? The Sugar Crisp Bear, Fruity Cocoa Pebbles with the Flintstones, Snap, Crackle, and Pop, the Honey Smacks, or is it the... Yeah, the Honey Smacks frog, I think.
Delicious Rice Krispies cereal. A golden goodie from
They had different voices.
haven't changed a bit. The gum that goes squirt.
Snap, Crackle, Pop.
It's
Rice Krispies.
The wildest peppermint yet.
What is this?
And cinnamon? It's the
Certs.
kickiest cinnamon
But I think Lifesavers had their own mints.
Cheddar gum that squirts refreshment all over your breath. Now squirts
Oh, Freshen Up.
peppermint.
Some of these companies didn't last too long, or they got merged. Ah, all your favorite pals. So, I remember so much about these, the different versions of Super Friends. Reruns would air on KCOP Channel 13, and also we would have the newer cartoons on ABC Saturday mornings. So, all this funny stuff, if you kind of remember it from Family Guy, but I remember it this way.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. on TV 19.
BC's All-Star Saturday.
Yeah, here's another promo. Pink Panther. We'll show you a little bit of Pink Panther here. Fang Face, and the challenge of the Super Friends. So I'll tell you my memories of this in a moment.
Scooby's All-Stars.
There's the All-Stars. I honestly didn't care. I mean, I remember most of these guys, but obviously I would remember the Superpowers team, the Galactic Guardians, a bit more. Because as you reach age 7, you reach the age of reason. But I just remember Jen and Zaina, the Wonder Twins, and Gleek. Green Lantern, I got to know Green Lantern and Bizarro through this cartoon. This was like, Great Scott, what is happening? There used to be an announcer who would do the voice of Superman, right? He also did the voice of, was it Danny Dark? Did the voice of Charlie the Tuna. And here you got the funny characters. And I do believe this is like based on the Filmation ones that came out in the 60s, the one with, yeah, it was the Adventures, the New Adventures of Batman, right? So they had the same designs. It was fun because I think as time went on, they would be the first ones you see in the morning. And this is how every episode would end. We learned a lesson today. And I don't know if the Wonder Twins are in here, but that's not. This is Goofy Superman, and this is the 73 version. So the cartoons would go on from 73 to 86. But, it was goofy characters. And this is before Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve. And, as one person said, this was not Super Friends. This was like, Can You Read My Mind? When Superman and Lois went flying over the Statue of Liberty. And that was a big turnaround for Superman. But this is all we had, the campy shit. And this is like the original Hanna-Barbera logo. Oh, we have to see this one. This before the 3D CGI stuff, right? I bought some M&Ms today. I still think, remember at the time you used to have plain and peanut. Now it's milk chocolate. It's been milk chocolate since the early 2000s, I think. I remember plain and peanut. Some people are allergic to peanuts. Yep. I think that better still be their tagline. She's still alive. She is the last of all of them. She's like, what, 90? Late 80s? Early 80s. She's survived. I remember when most of those actors were still alive. They had the Gilligan's Island reunion in 1988. Now when I see TV Dad, Carl Winslow, I think of the Gilligan's Island and Grandpa Munster. The American Music Awards. Oh, we are on the right set of commercials here. Home of the Buzzard. What is that? They had some like KMET. Yep, I have fond memories of the Pink Panther. Not so much the movies, though I learned to watch some of those movies with Peter Sellers. Brilliant stuff. And I watched mostly the 60s cartoons. So I remember Pink Panther and Sons more than this one on Saturday mornings. But I did watch all that stuff.
Next comes the legendary Bigfoot, who 8 years ago saved a young child lost in the van.
I love this groovy music. Now, the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff, they had the Sid and Marty Krofft Super Show, which inspired me to draw some characters out. Inspired me as an artist. But more importantly, you had like all these different live action Scooby-Doo type shows. And one of them was this one. Now, I do believe, I'm not sure if they made the move from NBC to ABC or ABC to NBC, but they had all these live action thingies going on. So very little do I remember. This was usually shown at the end of the Saturday morning. So you'd watch all your favorite cartoons, and then right around, 10 or 11 o'clock, they would show this. So this is like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Andre the Giant robot Bigfoot character in, The $6 Million Man. That was that time you had $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. Okay, they were the 70s version of Xena and Hercules, of what you have on the CW superheroes and all that. Yeah, they had Wonder Bug, and they had a Genie character, Dinah Woman and Electra Girl, all that stuff. David Hurst, oh my God. Look, all that groovy music you hear right now, 70s stuff. You hear some of that in like the Peanuts specials too. Oh, this Brady Bunch stuff. Yeah, I never really watched much of this. I remember the 80s reunion. The dad was still alive. And then after 88, he passed away. This is what your favorite stars from, like June Cleaver and... oh, yeah. I love this groovy looking logo shit.
Very fancy.
It's my first real date.
Free advice from your big brother?
About what?
Well, you leave the sweet tasting gum at home. You're not a
Tuh.
kid anymore. Take my Dentine.
Dentine. Oh, they still make gum, I'm sure. It's fun to see which stuff you've heard of and which one you haven't heard of. There was a thing called Bonkers gum. They had chocolate gum. That was in the 80s. I don't think Bonkers survived the late 80s.
Dentine makes your mouth taste.
I still miss peanut butter Twix. One more commercial here.
Pay attention, people with oily skin. This is a demonstration of a new face wash made to get oily skin clean. It's called Wash Tub. No doubt
I don't know who that
little
is. That
tub
voice
comes
actress
in.
sounds familiar.
Wash Tub does make an incredible amount of lather, and it certainly cleans up excess oil.
Those had character actors and funny people.
Ooh, that does
Funny
feel
characters,
nice.
funny people.
Wash Tub lathering face wash from Jergens, it really does get oily skin clean.
I
mean,
see.
really.
Ah, this should be familiar to some people. Dick Clark. Yeah, this is Dick Clark. So they showed American Bandstand. Now this is like weeks after I was born, and like this went on for a while until I think until maybe before Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters. Hard to say.
Next week there'll be our special guest. This
We all miss Dick Clark. New Year's Rockin' Eve and oh yeah, the 70s groovy shit right here. 70s groovy stuff. What is like a weird orgy kind of thing. But yeah, you got everybody dancing. I mean, Soul Train, American Bandstand. I tend to think that hold on. Worry about the copyright stuff here, but the music, but yeah, everybody was dancing, and it was the final thing before they went on to other programming. But this is the last thing you'd see in the 70s. All these different people. I hope they're still alive and in good health. Nobody has cancer, but probably some of them have cancer. So what happens, you're in your 20s and you go forward and you're 65, 66, 67, maybe about 70 years old. I'm sure Michael Keaton's down there dancing too. Dancing and grooving, moving to the groove, as they say, Disco, Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. Yeah, this was fun. Well, some final thoughts. I'm going to close out. It was my mission to bring you something entertaining. I really had fun with this. I hope you have fun with this too. I had to find a clever way to work around the copyright and all that. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, if you like this, if this was good enough for you, you see those buttons and not the knobs. Don't turn that dial or turn that dial. you know what to do. You know what to tell your friends. And I hope to do another one of these. I don't know if it'll be 79 or 80 or 81. Whatever. If it's significantly different, then I'll show more of it. If you want to see more of it, let me know in the comments. Yeah, this is my memories. And we don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. We have shite. We have Litton's Weekend Adventure, or we have sports. Mostly golf, I think.